So I'll tell you where, the experiment from which my current fascination with noise arose. I was working with an insurance company, and we did a very standard experiment. They constructed cases, very routine, standard cases, expensive cases. We're not talking of insuring cars. We're talking of insuring, financial firms for risk of fraud. But so you have people who are specialists in this. This is what they do. So cases were constructed completely realistic, the kind of thing that people encounter every day. And you have 50 people reading a case and putting a dollar value on it. And now I could ask you, and I asked the executives in the firm, and it's a number on which just about everybody agrees. So suppose you take two people at random, two underwriters at random, you average the premium they set, you take the difference between them, and you divide the difference by the average. So by what percentage do people differ? Would you expect people to differ? And there is a common answer that you find, when I just talk to people and ask them, or the executives have the same answer. It's somewhere around 10%. That's what people expect to see in a well-run firm. Now, what we found was 50%, 50. Which, by the way, mean that those underwriters were absolutely wasting their time. I mean, in the sense of assessing risk. So that's noise, and you find variability across individuals, which is not supposed to exist, and you find variability within individual, depending morning, afternoon, hot, cold. I mean, a lot of things influence the way that people make judgments. Whether they're full or whether they've had lunch or haven't had lunch affects judges and things like that. Now, it's hard to say what there is more of, noise or bias, but one thing is very certain: that bias has been overestimated at the expense of noise. I mean, virtually all the literature and a lot of public conversation is about biases. But in fact, noise is, I think, extremely important, very prevalent. And there is an interesting fact that noise and bias are independent sources of error, so that reducing either of them improves overall accuracy. And so there is room for, and the procedures by which you would reduce bias and reduce noise are not the same. So that's what I'm fascinated by these days.
Do you think of low intelligence as yet a third